Hi everybody, this is Kako here, and I was not expecting to be uploading this as soon as I am, but I'll take it. So yeah, I got 6A Golden like an entire 2 days after 4BG, which I was expecting this to take like much longer. Most of the grind was just a single day, because I spent like 2 hours one day trying to go for it. I choked the last room. Then I booted up stream the next day, expecting to go for like half an hour of attempts, but nope, I just first tried it somehow. I'll take it, but like I was not expecting that. So yeah, 6A Golden. I was not expecting this to be like as quick as it was, and also as enjoyable as it was. I've heard so many horror stories about this Golden, and this is like one of my least favorite chapters in any percent, so I was very much expecting this to be painful, but honestly wasn't really. I think part of it might have just been streaming it, but I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. Also, I have stuff to commentate on this because there were actual hard rooms, so there's that as a plus. This strat isn't really like practical or anything. I just think it's funny to zoom off the Kevin block like that, so I do it. And I'm also consistent at it because any percent muscle memory is, so there's that. So for hollows, my route is I take the bottom route on the first split path, and then for the rest of the split paths, I take the top route. There's no like real reason for why I do this. I'm just used to it once again from any percent. A lot of this is just muscle memory from any percent. For this room, you don't have to deal with the bumpers. You can just extend it hyper over and upright in order to circumvent it entirely. Makes that room much less annoying. For this room, I think you could like skip the bumper as well by doing an extended super, but it's not like that's an annoying bumper or anything, so it's not that big of a deal, realistically. This room can be sort of annoying, but it's really only because of like, oh, I was thinking of the wrong bumper room. Forget I said anything. This room killed a couple of times on stream, but most of those were just me zoning out entirely. Yeah, there's another bumper room that actually is hard. I was just thinking of the wrong room. Also, I take a break like right after this to scratch my nose. Like this entire stream, my nose was like irrationally itchy, so that was fun to deal with. This is the actually annoying bumper room. This is probably the hardest room before the battle and fight. That bumper hit right there is like so annoying to get. The rest of them are like fine enough, but also the bumper cycles are annoying. And that's the end of the split paths. Realistically, there's not that much to like pre-battle and fight in this Golden, which is kind of a bummer because it makes like the first half of the Golden essentially a piss clip. Yeah, I just hit that bumper, so I had to like go back and re-grab the feather. I'm surprised the attempt even survived past that. This next room killed more runs than I would like to admit. I would always somehow overshoot and like die to like the right pit of spikes. I don't know how I did it. I am just questionable at this video game, so like, in my defense, it's funny. For this room, I only take the first skip. The second skip isn't even like that useful anyway, it's way too tight, but the third skip, I'm just not consistent at it enough to want to go for it in golden attempts, even if it would save like a couple seconds. And just like that, we're already almost at the battle and fight. Yeah, before the battle and fight, this golden doesn't really have a lot to it, but battle and fight is something of a doozy in this. I got much luckier on this than I expected to, and I say that after choking the last room, where it was almost a fluke from like one of the first room after the cutscene, or as I call it, the first room of phase 2. The first half of the battle and fight is like by far the harder parts. A lot of this just comes down to being able to improv strats, I'm gonna be honest. Most of this also, like, I got off the hook on this one because I had any percent muscle memory, so I had consistent enough strats for this. But, like, if you're going for this golden, like, right now, and you don't have any percent experience, good luck. I think it might even be harder than 7A golden in that case. Just 7A golden is, like, very consistent. This is just not, like I said, it's a lot of improv. There are a couple strats for some runes, but mostly there's just general principles that I go by, like, like the main one I go for is just use a lot of extended hypers and wave dashes in order to try to get the battle in as fast as possible before she could get out like attacks that are going to be harder to dodge. not exactly like the safest thing in the world, but one, it looks cool, and two, it's consistent, so it's a win-win. And also for like a lot of rooms, like that room, I utilize grabbing the top of the wall in order to just make it so that I don't have to like deal with battling lasers. I use it a lot in one specific room in phase 2. And for that, I just like drive the feather into the wall, and then I hold shift so that immediately the feather is going to like end, and I just grab the wall. And just like that, we only have like 3 more rooms left of phase 1, as I call it. For me, like, I defined phase 1 of the battle and fight as being like before the cutscene, and then phase 2 is after the cutscene. This room is like probably one of the harder rooms. Like I said, it's a lot of improv, but there's some like general principles to go by. Just make use of the top wall, extended hyper, and wave dash, just stuff of that nature. I do an up dash here because I'm not risking skipping that cycle. It's not worth it in my opinion to go for the cycle skip if you're just doing golden. Even if you are going for speed strats. And just like that, that's the end of phase 1. Phase 2, thankfully, is much easier than phase 1 for me. Even when I was like doing like speedruns in this game, I noticed the second half of the battle fight was always like way more consistent than the first half. Really, the only rooms we have to deal with in phase 2 are this room and the last room in phase 2. Other than that, it's a pretty consistent part. Mostly just because of like the moving like platforms having like cycles and all, so like it's not like the first phase where like you can just go at any speed and more or less be fine. You actually have to like wait out the cycles. Not even just like laser or like orb cycles, you actually have to like deal with like genuine cycles. Also, I hit my mic, nice mic peak. For this room, I make like heavy use of grabbing the walls, just because it makes sense so that you can like dodge the orbs. Like grab the wall, let go into that to throw the orb, repeat until you're done. That's like one of the last rooms I have definitive strats for. Pretty much after that room, the only thing you have to deal with is the orb in the last room, which I choked once, and that was fun. Overall, like even with that choke, this was still a very fun grind, and I enjoyed this much more than I thought I would. So I'll let the reaction play, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Please don't spaghetti the bumper. Oh my god. I actually just got it first try of the day. I got it first try of the day. What? 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 I just got 6A gold in first attempt of the day. What? That's also my first time doing full battle and fight deathless. I got to the last room deathless like 3 times, but that's the first time I've ever done the entire fight deathless. What the fuck? That was out of nowhere. I practiced battle and fight for like 40 minutes and I was so bad at it. But I just get it first try? Like what? So true.